Good morning to you. Welcome to a brand new week. Today is Monday, the 6th day of October 2025. We're ready to kick off things as usual on Signature Morning on Signature TV. Good morning, Lillian.
Good morning, Uche, and Happy New Week to you.
Happy New Week to you. Now, I want to tell you something. A very big story.
Okay.
Actually, it's something that we've spoken about on this table a couple of times about the Dangote and Pengasan face-off.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and it seems to be winding down after some years of the strike action. What do you think about the situation?
Well, so long as the oil disruption has stopped and all the staff that was, ruled out has been called back, I don't have any issue.
But this small strike just caused, according to reports, Nigeria's oil output dropped by 16%. That's a lot.
Honestly, that's what I'm saying. If the disruption stops, then we're good to go. Pengasan, day or day. Dangote, day or day. Chicken.
Yes, exactly. Well, I mean, that just tells us about the state of our energy and oil sector in Nigeria. Once one sector shuts down, everybody's put on a standstill. I think it's another thing that we need to be concerned about.
Of course.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I am Uchenna Chimdi Oluoha.
And I am Lillian Wali. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Signature Morning. Now it's time for our newspaper headlines and review. Now we're going to start with our Daily Trust newspaper. Alleged forgery. UNN never issued me degree certificate, says Minister.
We have plots to remove Reps minority leader thickens.
An expert links 194,876 teachers deficit to power welfare.
4,778 die of cholera in 5 years. How we lost them within hours, says families. Why cases are rising, says experts on pages 3 and 4.
751 LGAs lagging behind in fiscal transparency, and committee proposes 13 new emirates in Bauchi.
All right, now on the Vanguard newspaper, we have $92 billion lithium rush leaves Nigerian investors behind. Why domestic investors are not yet here, says Muda Yusuf. Foreign investors should not own mines 100%. This is from miners. Nasarawa leading in lithium mining-friendly policies, says the governor's SA, and no special policy on lithium, says FG, on page 23.
And on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper, Serap to governors account for 14 trillion naira fuel subsidy savings.
Households suffer as cooking gas shortage worsens, rises to 25,000 naira.
World Teachers Day, NLC demands living wage for teachers. FG honors outstanding teachers and schools.
Fuel scarcity bites harder in Abuja.
And on the Tribune newspaper, 2027, disquiet in ADC over obese moves. Party must consider zoning to South, Tanko Yanusa says. He's running away from contest, NWC member says, and next election will be a 3-horse race, says Chekwa Sokore.
On page 7, World Teachers Day, NUT laments manpower crisis with shortage of 194,876 teachers, demands enhanced salary structure, warns against commercialization of education, urges FG to restore TRCN on budget list. FG promises better deal for teachers.
And on page 5, Dangote Refinery commends Tinubu security chiefs, ministers for averting Pengasan disruption.
Digital payments race heats up. Fintechs drive 71.5 trillion naira transactions as banks monetize digital growth.
Wike Fubara, warring political actors unite in Port Harcourt. And on health matters, individuals with rectal bleeding are 8.5 times more likely to have colorectal cancer.
On the Guardian newspaper, Government may earn 1 trillion naira yearly from capital gains as new tax causes stir on page 6.
Confusion as status quo order pit police against MBA.
We have Tinubu's botched visit, Oti, Kalu trade words ahead of Abia 2027.
And also on the Guardian newspaper, Lagos residents lament flash flooding urge government to enforce planning laws.
Plot to remove Chinda divides House of Representatives. And fresh violence, mass displacement test government's grip on security.
And rascality, vested interest in Nigeria's downstream petroleum industry now. And cooking gas scarcity pushes price to 3,000 per kg. And Cardoso, single-digit inflation remains our medium-term target. And that's the much we can take on our headlines this morning. And with us in the studio for our review is Chris Maduka. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Lillian.
You're welcome.
And good morning, people of the world from any part of the world you are watching Signature Television this morning.
How are you today?
Well, I'm going to be better. And there's a man in my place, each time you greet him, he said, oh yeah, the man that is better if the people around him agree. I will be far much better if Nigerians, especially Nigerian leaders, if they want me to be better, I will be better. Because they decide how we feel when we wake up to breathe, what we earn, how we buy and bado in the market, and how we buy our fuel. The Nigerian leaders will do that. So let's go. Our life depends on our leaders, and they know.
Right. Let's look at what's been trending over the weekend. Alleged forgery. UNN never issued me degree certificate, says Minister.
I don't think that should be. In Nigeria, the issue of forgery and certificate forgery has been, it's been a law that balaho that has remained a custom. So whenever he appears in this way, I don't follow it. It's not as important as what we are talking about here of how many Nigerians have died of cholera. That somebody is quarreling about certificate, who issued and what issued, whether it's fake or not fake, whether there are trending words on the certificate. A lot of Nigerians are moving around, even at the highest level of authority in Nigeria, with what they call the Oluwole certificate. Oluwole is a street in Lagos Island where people, a street near there's this place, they call that place you can get even a visa, fake visa. A lot of Nigerians travel with Oluwole visa. They are holding Oluwole PhD certificates. Some of them are holding master's certificate at Oluwole. So there's nothing Nigeria has not forged. They have even forged, of course, counterfeit naira and counterfeit dollars and euro, counterfeit pound sterling have been forged. And the security forces of Nigeria are on the trail of all these things. So whenever I said whether they have to sort it out. UNN is a federal government university, and they have record as one of the pioneer universities in Nigeria. When their name is appearing in these political talks, they are the people who should come out to clear. Otherwise, whatever politics that is playing around, their name will be tainted. So UNN, the lion, and lionesses. Better is the places where they tame lion and lionesses. They should come out clearly now to take a decision and tell the world what is happening in that case. Of course, they are the only people who will say whether this person passed through the school, who issued certificate or degree or whatever they issue. They know whether they gave it to this particular politician. Otherwise, it shouldn't be a problem. And he must not have passed through UNN. UNN is not only schools in university in Nigeria that issue degree certificate. So if this particular minister said UNN didn't issue me, and UNN find their record that the issue is their word against, so they should tell the world. So nobody should mention UNN issue and get away with it when we have a university like UNN still alive and kicking.
Now we're seeing that 4,778 die of cholera in 5 years. That is a lot.
Now, if we Nigeria have lost in 5 years from the last tenure of last president of Nigeria, who is now dead, God bless his soul, to the tenure of the present, probably in the last tenure of Buhari, to the first 1 year of Tinubu, we lost this amount of people, and these are potential voters. So imagine if we have, assuming we have 10,000 people to vote in Nigeria, and 4,778 died of cholera. That will tell you the number left to vote. And out of non-number to vote, you have the old people who can even trek to the polling booth. Among them, we have children who are not up to voting. That is assuming. This tells us that we are not at home. When I keep saying it, you know, when you are at home, you are relaxed. There are so many issues that will crop up, you tackle it. Cholera is no more an issue anywhere in the world. With simple medication and simple sanitation issues. And this is where we have Ministry of Health, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Education, all the line ministries and the department and agencies, MDAs, that have oversight function about Nigerian health. This is the number of people we are losing. We lost this kind of number of people in 5 years to cholera alone. Then when we add it up, the number of people we lose when there's flash flooding and people die. Bring the number in Mokwa. Bring the number that died in your water when the banditry and terrorism gets to East Peak. Bring the number of people that die of road accident. Bring the number that are dying of curable sicknesses because they cannot afford to buy Panadol and malaria. Bring those numbers, put them together. And our leaders are comfortable in Abuja running around campaigning for 2027. Nobody is thinking about it. Probably the present minister, they've issued this result. The Nigerians are fond of issuing their scorecard of failure. A scorecard of 4,778 people died in cholera in Nigeria in 5 years is a clear scorecard of failure of Ministry of Health and all the allied ministries. But nobody will think about it. There are the same people who will come and take a minister, permanent secretaries, take positions in big positions and go in SUVs. Why this number is dying? Just imagine in a typical village primary health center, and a child is just reported of having running stomach, probably it's cholera. You can't even know which one is different between diarrhea, cholera, and all this. They bring the person, not even a nurse is there in the primary health center to tackle it. From there, you know how infectious this can be. And then in such community, there's flooding. With the drops of human feces, that's what the health people will tell you, that what they call fecal to mouth. The percentage of fecal hand to mouth, how we contact this kind of very infectious disease, is 100% in Nigeria. So when there's flooding, the shit that are dropped in the open defecation, we share in the city, and this thing will move around, and we can't even handle simple campaign, and we'll start looking for UNICEF and all the United Nations agencies to tackle. And Nigeria will come and tell you they are giant of the world. Let's move on.
All right.
There's something before you go again out of that and daily trust. 751 local governments are lagging behind in fiscal transparency. We have 774 LGAs in Nigeria. Out of 774, 751 cannot account for the money they receive. Your guess is as good as mine. Do the mathematics. Tell me how much is left. Nigeria is not at home. And every day we review issues that tells us of how vulnerable and how empty we are. That will tell you. And these are the people we are here crying for. Local government autonomy. Local government autonomy have fought and shouted and said they should give them autonomy. But out of 774, 751 LGAs in Nigeria are lagging behind in fiscal transparency. If local government cannot lagging behind in fiscal transparency, state government is lagging behind in fiscal transparency, federal government is lagging behind in fiscal transparency. Even individuals, household leaders of household, church leaders, religious leaders are lagging behind in fiscal transparency. That will tell you Nigeria is fantastically corrupt nation. So let us keep our cool. Let's not point fingers. Because look at the local government, look at what it is. So how many are left? We'll be fighting for them. They carry the money, throw it into empty basket. And we are thinking even the dividend of democracy closer to the grassroots is not. But there's something very personal I want to tell you. A senator, Senator Barrow, is sharing 20,000 to 10,000 people. My calculation, if I'm right, because I'm very bad in mathematics, 200 million he will share. He didn't tell us, is it the constituency money? These politicians are fun. He was expecting us to clap for him. If he used 200 million to put a modular industry, just something like some small thing that will empower people you are giving 10,000. 200 million can set up a block industry in 3 local governments where Senator Barrow is coming, or in 3 senatorial districts, or 3 areas that make up a senatorial district. 200 million can set up a small industry. 200 million can set up farmers, give them some things, implement and inputs. 200 million can do something that is sustainable
and long term
that will yield back 200 million the next year. These Nigerian politicians, I don't know who taught them that by sharing money that they're empowering Nigerians, they are buying probably the next tenor tickets to back to. That's what it means. But they are throwing this money into the West basket, and they will think they're empowering. Some people will be shouting, "Hey, say Baba, say Senator Barrow, Kai," you know. But what he has done has no basis. Where is the money coming from? Is it senatorial? Is the money they give them to senatorial empowerment? And is it the best way? It is in Nigeria where we find the Federal House of Reps in Kogi sharing one tower of Okada. So he is a constituent. These Nigerian politicians are incredible. I don't know what to say. But somebody will say, is other Nigerian senators sharing 200 million to their constituencies and we're still? That money is money you throw into the ocean. You can't go and carry salt and go and put the ocean and hoping that it will be oversalted. You can never. Let them find a way of empowering the people, not by sharing this money. Put something on the ground that we hear. Teach people how to fish. Don't give them fish, because they will eat that fish and attack you. 92 billion lithium loss leaves Nigerian investors behind. You know what you call lithium is a very expensive resources used in manufacturing of batteries and things in that allied industry. And we have over $92 billion of such things happening in Nigeria. So when you hear that the villages are being burnt, terrorists and bandits take over, pursue them, they go to IDP camp, Nigerian and the international community. Among these international community are the people who are giving us aids to keep people from their community because they have lithium maybe under their ground. They put them in an IDP camp. And helicopters are dropping every day, arming terrorists and bandits, carrying these natural resources from Nigeria's soil and going away. And we are here talking. Let Nigerians begin to look in. That is, if what is happening to us, that out of this kind of money they call here, $92 billion lithium industry, it leaves Nigerian investors behind. Where is the money? Is it the ones that you find in every street in northeast Nigeria and all the north? You find every 5 northerner, you find about 2 Chinese. They move every corner in the name of doing business. What kind of business do you do? And when they do mining and certificate of mining, who is controlling those things? And why should they keep mining in the north? Some secrets going there, and their eyes are open on the oil in the south. Nigerians have not told themselves the truth. And this truth will continue to haunt Nigeria until 90% they have said, whether it confirmed or not, of the security issues in Northeast has to do with over 24 mineral resources that are highly expensive in the world that are buried under the earth in Nigeria. 34 of those mineral resources, out of it, 24 of them are in the north region of Nigeria. But they cover it and call the rats at home. We go call the one in the bush, come, there is fish over Mama's kitchen. And that is what we are suffering. Any group of people who have decided to tell themselves lies will continue.
All right, let's look at this on the Nigerian Tribune. World Teachers Day, NUT laments manpower crisis with shortage of 194,876 teachers.
Do you think that Nigerians still need the service of teachers? The more ignorant people, they can bring out and share 10,000 naira and they will smile home. That's what they want. If they require teachers, the people that are taking decisions in Nigeria do not require Nigerian teachers to teach their children. Check the National Assembly. Check from Aso Rock to the last State House of Assembly, even local government. How many of them have their children in Nigerian schools? So whether in the UT, is it not Nigerian Union of Teachers? Whether they lament or cry, they are crying to themselves. Because 876,000 shortage of teachers does not concern people who have their children in Oxford and all the private universities, and even imagine the schools they put their children and paying heavily for status symbol. When you talk with them, I just finished paying school fees for my children, because these are Nigerians. Some of us that go to beg for money, we are beggars. They will tell you, I'm paying for school fees for my child who is in America. I'm paying for, and you have come to ask for money for you and your family here. You're not talking about going to school. They'll give you an excuse of how they are paying school fees for their children abroad. That's Nigeria for you. So NUT didn't start lamenting on time. NUT did not lament when they had 50,000. They didn't lament. Now that it's gotten to over 2 million, or just going to over 1 million, they are beginning to lament. The lamentation and the NUT lament with this lamentation over Nigeria and the shortage of teachers, it will not make any meaning. Because no Nigerian leader in every position of authority, even the religious leaders, are building their universities and their secondary schools and primary schools and nursery, charging the people that pay tithes to build those schools high. Nobody is looking at the poor and the wretched of the earth. So is survival of the fittest. If you cannot join them, if you can't beat them, join them. But soon, you can't beat them, you can't join them, you destroy them. That's what we find. So when we find disquietness in Nigeria, insecurity, and it's people who are trying to join them. Because they don't have what it takes to join them, they push them out. Then they try to do other things. It doesn't work. They now want to destroy. Using the chicken psychology. The chicken psychology, if the chicken is picking on the thing, if he finds that he cannot pick anything, he uses his leg to scatter. That is the psychology of the chicken. And that's what has brought Nigeria to where we are. Whether they want to listen or not, Nigeria has clearly put themselves in this mess. And nobody can stoop on their mess for them. If they want to solve it, we can solve it. If they don't want, let's continue to review our crisis. Well, you know what we review in this? Nobody. We keep reviewing every morning the crisis of Nigeria.
That's why you say Nigerian problem. No,
You know the finish.
All right, before we go, 2027, disquiet in ADC over obese moves. Party must consider zoning to South. Tanko Yansua said.
If they want the zone, everybody has been scared of zoning to the PDP didn't zone to South when it was supposed to zone, and they're still licking their wounds. Because at times somebody has asked me, why are the PDP suffering? Because of the truth they could not say in 2023. In 2025, they are scattered. Now they want to bring the same issues in ADC. They have not a bed that has not even pitched, and it has given a drop to heap of drop. That the ADC has not even settled down their issue of zoning, and they think before they finish thinking about zoning and whether they will go to South or not, the 2027 will be here, and that is, they have set them on wide good chase. If they don't begin now to use their leg to look for what drop inside the ocean, now so they will be drowned. If they didn't begin now to look for the black sheep in the daytime, the same thing that happened Agbotal PDP, Yaju ADC order, and they will see how it looks like. So nobody will tell them whatever they do. They keep telling themselves, they know the truth, and the only truth will set them free. If they want, if they don't want, let them go there deceiving themselves and talking, because among them, used to be a time when you say among every 12 you have Judas. Among every Nigerian political party, you have Judases. Nigerian politicians always go to sow seed with squirrel in their bag, and you hope that they will plant seed and go. Well, right. That is it.
All right, Chris Maduka, we are always delighted to have you in the studio. So please, can we say our pay offline before we go?
Oh, I thought you don't have to remind me. I thought you were going to ask me a question. The pay offline is always there. God bless all of you who have watched us this morning and be part of this newspaper review. God bless my little angels who are here. God bless you that is at home. God bless everybody. But remember that God's blessing is for those who deserve to be blessed.
Yes, thank you, Chris Maduka. But let me remind you, we are no longer little. Yes, we are no longer little.
No, that will be the topic of discourse by next year. We'll discuss how little and big you are.
All right, and that is where we end our conversations on the newspaper headlines and review this morning. We will take a little break. When we return, Signature Morning continues.